Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. We'll be right back to the show. But before we do, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, factormeals.com, where if you go to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50, you can get 50% off your first order. That's factormeals.com/unbroken50. If you're like me and you are a person who is busy trying to create a life, heal, work on their health, wealth, and relationships, and not to mention deal with the day-to-days of normal life, you do not have time to be going to the grocery store and trying to figure out what you're going to cook every single day of the week. In fact, one time I did the math and I realized I was spending over 15 hours a week at the grocery store and cooking. When I added Factor, I got to use that time for myself, for my family, for my friends, for my community, and for my business. And so if you're in the place where you need some more support in the kitchen, head to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50 to get 50% off.
Do you ever feel like life is a never-ending series of lessons while you try to find purpose, meaning, and answers? I am Vanessa Fontana, the host of Figuring Shit Out, a podcast where we undertake self-help, coming of age, and healing. As I live my 20s in New York City figuring shit out myself, I've realized that if you spend your whole life trying to get your act together, you don't have a life. You have an act. On Figuring Shit Out, every Sunday, you get to normalize the journey of not knowing and be guided into living your life with more intention and ease.
Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? Welcome to the Think Unbroken podcast. I'm your host, Michael Unbroken, and this podcast is about helping trauma survivors let go of the past, overcome their fear, discover their identity, become the hero of their own story, and ultimately to be unbroken. Our goal in company is to bring on guests and experts in the fields of mental, physical, and psychological health to help you overcome the past, to take back your power. And in this podcast, we are unedited and unfiltered, and we're going to give it to you real so that you can start to create massive change in your life. If you're curious about learning more outside the podcast, you can get a free copy of my book, Think Unbroken, at book.thinkunbroken.com. That's book.thinkunbroken.com, where you can get a copy of my #1 best-selling book, Think Unbroken, Understanding and Overcoming Childhood Trauma. The most important thing that you can ever do, my friends, is show up for yourself, and that's where you are today. And I appreciate you. I have massive gratitude for you. And without further ado, let's get into the show. We'll be right back to the show, but before we do, I want to take a moment and tell you about my new book, Unbroken Man, A Man's Guide to Being the Hero of Their Own Story. I sat down a few months ago and realized that there are so many men in the world that need guidance, that need support, that need to learn about trauma, removing themselves from toxic masculinity, breaking down the barriers to vulnerability, getting unstuck, and ultimately learning the tools to become the hero of their own story. Unbroken Man is available for pre-order right now if you go to men.thinkunbroken.com, where you'll also get access to over $1,000 in bonuses, including the 6-week in-depth trauma healing coaching app, which you'll get instant access to. I created Unbroken Man to be accessible to everyone around the world, but it is written for men from the guise of a man, and I hope that you will find it to be a practical tool on your healing journey in the same way that thousands of men around the world have. So check out men.thinkunbroken.com to pre-order, and until next time, be unbroken. That's why we're talking about this Tuesday night coaching is Zero to Hero. That's why we wrote Think Unbroken. If you haven't seen the first book, this is the baseline. Think Unbroken, Understanding and Overcoming Trauma, Childhood Trauma is the framework for everything that I believe it takes to start this journey. It's not everything encompassing, because if it were, how long is this book? 235 pages. If this was the book I wanted it to be, it'd be 5,000 pages and nobody would read it. That's the entry, right? For some people, for someone listening to this right now or watching right now, the entry of what you need to do to go from 0 to 1 is to pick up Think Unbroken and read that book, and to face the truth that your past may be impacting your present. So many of us hide from it. So many of us hide from it. We run from it, and we say to ourselves, no, it's okay. It doesn't matter. We stuff it down. When I was at my worst, when I was at my lowest, my self-talk was just so incredibly detrimental. It was not in this progressive way to push me forward, but instead it was in this way that was just so belittling. You're not good enough. You're not strong enough. You're not capable enough. You're a loser. This is why your dad left you. This is why your mom cut your finger off. This is why you were homeless. You're a piece of shit. Nobody's ever going to like that kind of self-talk is not going to get you anywhere. And so when I talk about this self-talk where I'm like, get your shit together, that for me is about recognizing the truth that I'm not showing up. And that's what some people, you're going to need that if you're like me. I don't think it's for everybody. Look, and I've always said I'm not for everybody, and I don't aim to be. But what I will say is there are moments in which you have to pull your ass up and go and look in that mirror and face the truth of the reality that everything that you want in your life, you can have. Everything. It's right here. It's right here. It's like, fuck, if I could just give you a magic pill and I could hand it to you and I could go, this is the way that you build yourself, I'd be the richest person on planet Earth. I'd be richer than Elon. Elon would be calling me talking about, hey, can I buy Twitter from you? Right? But that's not what the truth is, because that's not how life works. If you want to create change in your life, if you want to be able to get into this place where even when it's at its hardest for you to fight and you're like, fuck, I just cannot do this, you have to go in that mirror and you have to give yourself a pep talk. And that pep talk might be radical kindness, where it's, hey, you can do this. You got this, one step at a time. And for a lot of people, that works really, really, really well. I promise you it does. Some of my clients, I've coached thousands of people around the world. For some of my clients, that is how I have to coach them. That is what they need. And then that way they can learn that kind of self-talk so that when they do it, that's what they can leverage. When I was growing up, I played sports. And I could not fucking stand the coaches that were kind to me. Now, part of that's probably because of trauma. Like, let's not get it twisted. Like, I recognize and understand that about myself. But it was the coaches who would look at me and say, you're not trying hard enough. You're not doing the best that you can. I'll never forget that. So there was this wrestling tournament in Indianapolis growing up. In my senior year, I won the wrestling tournament. It was the city tournament. So all the schools in the city, they come together and they wrestle. And this is, I don't know, I think it's probably like January or February in the year. And so I'm in this tournament and my wrestling coach comes up to me in the morning. Now,
I am supposed to win this tournament. I have the best ranking of anyone in the whole tournament. And he comes up to me and he knows how to talk to me, because every time that he talked to me and he was kind, he's like, hey, Michael, you can do it. It'll be great. Just go do it. We practice. I'd fucking lose. Like, I would just lose. It's crazy to think about it because, you know, I'd go back and I remember one time I was in the office with him after a meet and he was like, dude, what happened? There's no way you should have lost. I was like, I don't know, man. Stop being fucking nice to me about this. This is a hard thing that I need to accomplish. And he was new into coaching, and I think this landed with him, and he goes, got it. And so we're in this city tournament. I got the best ranking. I am supposed to win this tournament. And coming up at the beginning, as soon as we got through the weigh-in to get the scheduling for the day and the mats assignments and all that stuff, he goes up to me and goes, you've worked your ass off, but you have not yet accomplished your goal. Get in here and make it happen. And I remember that being this really interesting moment because it started changing the way that I was like talking to myself when it came to sport. It was like, dude, just fucking get it done. Like, find a way to win. Find a way to make it happen. And I think that if you're willing to find a way to make it happen, then you can find success. You can find success because look, there's a huge differentiation between putting yourself down and bringing yourself up in the way that you're talking to yourself. Because think about this. So I talked about this. I actually dive really deep into it in the new book, in the new book, Unbroken Man. And I broke this down into science. So if you remember in Think Unbroken, I'm Michael Science things. So I kind of did the same thing in this. So Unbroken Man, this will come out in June. I'll break down the simple side of it. I think about mindset like this. Mindset is about understanding the truth that what you think becomes what you speak become your actions, and your actions become your reality. And so the things that you tell yourself, they actually in turn start to be what you do. And then you look at your life and you go, oh, that thing I was thinking has become real. And what I want you to think about in this is that thing that you're thinking becoming real is based on the choices and the decisions that you make. And so when I was in this place where I was just destroying myself because of what other people were telling me, you're not good enough, you're not strong enough, you're not capable enough, you're a loser, I did the things to make that a reality. Like, I'm telling you right now, you don't get to 350 pounds, smoking 2 packs a day, drinking yourself to sleep, being stoned all the time, being in debt, having your friends hate you, having your brothers telling you to never talk to me, having people tell you just stay away from them because you're doing a good job in life. Like, you just don't get there because things are working. And it was because my negative self-talk was so fucking strong that it was running everything in my life. And so this shift in my mind, understanding the truth about mindset, came through this filter of recognizing something really interesting about life. Kindness is everything. You see, I teach people when they come into coaching all the time, I say, you grab a pen, and you guys have probably heard me talk about this. You grab a pen, this thing right here, and you write this sentence down, and you convince yourself that this is true. I am the kind of person who is kind to myself. I am the kind of person who is kind to myself. Because here's the truth about life. The people who operate through the scope of kindness are going to push themselves into doing the thing that is uncomfortable, that is going to build confidence in their life because they know that that is the thing that they need to do for themselves. And so when I'm operating in kindness with myself, and look, I get it, the words you may not understand, but I have been able to build this within myself. I go, get your shit together. Dude, we'll be right back to this episode of the Think Unbroken podcast in just a moment, but I wanted to invite you to come and join the Think Unbroken Discord community. If you don't know about Discord, it's being built on Web3, which is a platform that we as the users get to own. So no more Instagram or Facebook or algorithms getting in the way of you seeing and being a part of content. in the Discord channel. We're going to grow this to hundreds of thousands of community members, hopefully over time. But today it's small, it's close, it's intimate, where you'll be able to get access to live coaching with me, where you'll have chat with the Unbroken Nation community, where you can talk about a range of topics, anywhere from thinking about habits and growth mindset, goals, trauma, recovery, dating, relationships, career, accountability, business, meditation, feedback, and more. And so all you have to do is go to thinkunbroken.com/discord. That's thinkunbroken.com/discord. That's DISCORD to join the Unbroken Nation community. Dude, get on the treadmill, get to the gym, write the book, do Tuesday night coaching, be a good person to yourself, eat good food, don't get drunk, don't get high all day. That stuff comes from kindness. And the language and it's the intensity. Like I don't want you to misconstrue the difference between tonality and intensity and intention and just fucking anger and meanness, because they're not the same thing. Me being like, get your fucking shit together, that intensity is what I need. That's the same thing that in the morning of that city tournament and my coach being like, let's go, you haven't done it yet. That level of intensity, that is what has driven me to success in my life. But it's always through the scope of kindness, thinking about what do I need to do today to be successful? Who do I need to be today to be successful in my life? And that's what I want you guys to think about when you're at zero, when you're at your rock bottom, when life feels as hard as it could ever feel. That is the moment in which you must ask yourself the question, what am I willing to do to have the life that I want to have? And in that, pushing yourself to what is next. And the difficult part about pushing yourself to what is next is that it's incredibly uncomfortable. None of us want to do it. I promise you, there's nothing I enjoy better than getting stoned and eating gummy bears and playing video games. Nothing. There's nothing on planet Earth that I like more than that. I swear to you. And I don't do that. That is not the life that I live. That is not how I show up in the world, because I operate through kindness and I say to myself, who do I need to be today? And because I need to be a person operating through kindness today and pushing myself to what it is that I want to accomplish in my life, I have to get myself built up and say, get it done. No excuses. Show up. And the thing that's really interesting about this is when you're at zero, when you're at rock bottom, when you're like, this is so fucking hard. I cannot do this. I cannot bring myself to it. I cannot possibly ever, those are the words that are the most dangerous. If I could teach you one thing tonight on Tuesday night coaching, and again, thank you guys for being here. It means the world. Like I love being able to do this and share this knowledge with you guys. And this will be over on Think Unbroken Podcast. So if you haven't checked out Think Unbroken Podcast, go check it out, thinkunbrokenpodcast.com. You can also just go to Think Unbroken on iTunes or Spotify. And the number one thing that I want you to take away from tonight, the difference between going from 0 to 1, like going from I'm at rock bottom, my life is a disaster, to 1. Just 1, not 10 years from down the road, not even a week down the road, but just to 1. Just to 1 is you have to take the word can't out of your vocabulary. You have to take the word can't out of your vocabulary. I will argue that the word can't is the most dangerous word in the English language. The most dangerous word in the English language. Because if you think about this idea that you can't, and those are the words that you are using, and you're saying, I cannot do this. I cannot do this. This is not a part of me. This is not me. It's literally this simple. The definition of can't is to be unable to do something, to choose not to do something. And so if you're at 0 and you're like, all I need to do is just be able to get out of bed today. And I've been there. So let me tell you this. This is the thing that you guys haven't seen. You didn't see me 11 years ago at rock bottom. You weren't there when I had to struggle to pull my ass out of bed. and to start going to the gym and doing hot yoga and eating well and stop drinking. And I know some of you are there right now. And if you are there and you're like, fuck, I'm at fucking zero, life is a disaster, I promise you, if you do this one thing, everything will be different. You take the word can't out of your vocabulary and you start telling yourself, I can do this. I have the ability to do this. I have the power to do this. I can do this. And the this for you, like when it was at the beginning for me, the this for me was like, get out of bed on time, brush your teeth, take a shower, do the dishes, take a walk around the block, buy a yoga mat, go through the process of the journey of healing. Like that's what my cans were. My cans they'd stopped me for so long. I could never be me. Like if I rewinded, if imagine this, we had this moment 10 years ago, I would never be daring to get on this. I'd be terrified. I'd be like, I can't do this. Can't. And when you're willing to take that word out, that is what differentiates the people who go from 0 to 1. People get so caught up in 100, in a million, in life so far down the road. But I always ask myself, what can I do today? What is it I can do today? So going back to the beginning of this conversation, think about this. I signed up for this marathon. I made a decision. I said I'm going to train. I get in the truck. I've got the flat tire. I'm running behind. I have to still work out. I've got to get on the call. It's Tuesday night coaching. I have to show up. I could have just said I can't. Not tonight. I'll do it another night. And you know what would happen? I would not build self-esteem. I would not build confidence. I would not build myself up. And this is the thing that I'm telling you right now. In those moments in which you're just like, you feel like you cannot do something, you might need to kick yourself in your own ass. You really might. And you might need to give yourself radical kindness. And only you can determine that. And because I promise you, there are moments when I give myself radical kindness, especially when I make mistakes, especially when there's failures. But if I'm in the window of not even trying to step through the threshold, you best believe I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to force it. And for some of us, that's what we need. We need to force ourselves into creating the success that we want in our life. Because the only way you build confidence, again, I'm going to tell you again, the only way you build confidence is by consistently doing incredibly uncomfortable things constantly. That's how you do it. And for some of us, the incredibly uncomfortable thing is saying, yes, I can. And I believe that you can, and I know that you can. And that's why we do Tuesday night coaching. That's why we have the Think Unbroken podcast. That's why I write these books. That's why the app, Think Unbroken app, is in the app stores for you to download and go take free courses. That's why all of this exists, because I'm telling you, you all have the ability to go from 0 to hero. Unbroken Nation, my friends, thank you so much for being here. It means the world to me. I'm glad I could spend this Tuesday night with you, this beautiful half an hour together. Do me a favor, if you have not, go check out the Think Unbroken podcast. Go pre-order Unbroken Man. If you go to men.thinkunbroken.com, Unbroken Man is a man's guide to being the hero of your own story. It is not exclusively only for men. I will say that the intro is actually dedicated to my amazing unbroken women and people around the world. It is no question. This is my third book. I think like anything, you get better in time. There's no question that Unbroken Man is the best book I've ever written. The first chapter of this book is the best chapter of any book. It's the best thing I've ever written in my entire life. So I'm very excited for that to come out in June. If you go to men.thinkunbroken.com, you can get a copy of Unbroken Man. There's a pre-order, tons of amazing bonuses. I'd love to see you there. We're going to do a launch party too. But with that, my friends, thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being willing to be the hero of your own story. And until next time, my friends, be unbroken. I'll see you. Unbroken Nation, hope that you just got a tremendous amount of value from today's episode. I want to know what you think. Please do me a favor and review, rate, and share the episode with 3 friends on social media today. It would mean the world if you did, because ultimately at the end of the day, creating community and connection is how we heal generational trauma in the world. And I need your help to do that, Unbroken Nation. So if you're on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you are, please like, comment, share, review. I want to know not only what you like about the show, but how I can make the show better, how I can make this further about helping you on your healing journey. So do me a favor. And when you do, shoot me a screenshot of you making the review to my DM at Michael Unbroken on Instagram so that I can have a conversation with you, say hi, and more importantly, so I can share it with the Unbroken Nation. Thank you so much, my friend. We'll be right back, but I wanted to take a quick moment to tell you about the Think Unbroken 6-week trauma healing coaching program. If you go to coaching.thinkunbroken.com, that's coaching.thinkunbroken.com, you can sign up for the 6-week daily Think Unbroken Trauma Healing Coaching Program. In this program, we're going to go over the 6 principles of healing trauma, adaptation, understanding the impacts of trauma, how to become the hero of your own story, what to do next, and ultimately what it means to be unbroken. For more information about this 6-week coaching program, which you can download as an app on your phone and take with you everywhere, no matter where you are in the world, it's interactive. It's built about giving you practical tools that you can use in real time. And if you're ready for what's next in your life, go to coaching.thinkunbroken.com. Again, that's coaching.thinkunbroken.com. Now let's get back to the show.
Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of live coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program.
What's so special about Hero Bread's soft, fluffy, and delicious breads, buns, and tortillas? Hero Bread serves up 0 to 1 grams of net carbs, 5 to 11 grams of protein, and high fiber in every delicious serving. Made with natural ingredients, Hero Bread supports gut health, promotes weight management, and helps maintain blood sugar. Hero also drops other limited edition ultra-low net carb goodies like rich flaky croissants and buttery brioche slider rolls. Head to hero.co to shop today.